You're ignored by powerful people for one simple reason. You signal weakness without realizing it. You talk too much. You try to impress. You show admiration too quickly. And the moment you do that, the social hierarchy is decided because power reads behavior faster than words. Machiavelli understood this centuries ago. He watched courts, rulers, advisors, and social climbers destroy their influence in seconds simply because they misunderstood one rule. Power does not connect through friendliness. Power connects through positioning. By the end of this, you will understand the psychological rules powerful people use to decide who gets access and who stays invisible. But first understand the enemy. It isn't powerful people. It's approval-seeking behavior. The need to be liked, the need to be impressive, the need to be accepted. Those signals instantly lower your status. Powerful people don't look for fans. They look for controlled minds. If you're building that kind of mind, comment, "I move with precision." Law 1. Never enter a powerful room as a fan. Most people walk into high-status environments already losing. They enter impressed. You see it everywhere. Someone meets a successful founder or executive and immediately starts praising them. "I admire your work. I followed your success for years." It sounds respectful, but psychologically it signals submission. Humans constantly scam for status hierarchy. When someone shows admiration too quickly, the brain categorizes them as lower status. Not intentionally, automatically. This mechanism is called status calibration. People measure who seeks approval and who doesn't. Approval seekers become safe, and safe people are forgettable. That's the trap. Society teaches respect through admiration. But in power dynamics, admiration looks like dependency. The consequence is simple. You become another admirer in a long line of admirers. Instead, approach with calm curiosity. Not admiration, not intimidation. Neutral interest. A simple, thoughtful question carries more power than 10 compliments because curiosity signals intelligence, while admiration signals hierarchy. You're not entering the room as a fan. You're entering as a peer in development. Law 2. Control your words like currency. Most people destroy their influence by talking too much. Watch what happens at networking events. Someone finally gets a moment with an influential person and begins explaining their entire life story, their goals, their struggles, their plans. They fill every second of silence. This happens because silence feels uncomfortable. Humans instinctively fill empty space with words to reduce social tension. But powerful individuals interpret silence differently. They interpret it as control. Words operate like currency in social psychology. When something is scarce, it becomes valuable. When something is abundant, its value drops. The same applies to speech. Oversharing creates cognitive noise. The listener's brain stops processing meaning and begins categorizing you as someone seeking validation. That instantly lowers perceived influence. The strategic alternative is precision, short statements, clear observations. One sharp insight is remembered longer than 10 explanations. Silence does something powerful. It forces the other person to lean forward mentally. Curiosity replaces evaluation, and curiosity creates influence. Comment. Silence creates power. Law 3. Become useful, not impressive. This is where most social climbers fail. They try to impress powerful people. They talk about achievements, credentials, success stories. But powerful people aren't looking for performers. They're looking for leverage. Imagine two people meeting an investor. The first spends 5 minutes explaining their accomplishments. The second says something different. "I noticed a shift happening in your industry that might affect your next quarter." One conversation entertains the ego. The other provides value. Powerful individuals operate under constant time pressure. Their brain filters every interaction through one question. Is this person useful? This is called utility bias. The mind prioritizes information that improves decision-making. The trap is ego-driven communication. People believe admiration and performance will earn attention, but attention is not the same as value. The real-world consequence is subtle. You leave the conversation remembered as enthusiastic, but not essential. Strategic connectors reverse this dynamic. They observe before they speak. They listen for problems. Then they offer insight, perspective, or information. You stop trying to look impressive. You become something far more powerful, a resource. Law 4. Never reveal your full ambition. Ambition attracts resistance when it appears too early. Someone meets a powerful executive and immediately explains their aggressive career plan. their future goals, their vision of domination in the field. It sounds confident, but psychologically it activates threat detection. Humans instinctively evaluate future competition. When someone reveals strong ambition too quickly, powerful individuals unconsciously create distance. Not because ambition is bad, because premature ambition signals unpredictability. Many people believe transparency builds trust, but in strategic environments, transparency exposes intention. Machiavelli wrote that wise operators reveal their power gradually. The mechanism is simple. Results speak louder than declarations. When ambition is shown through consistent execution, it inspires respect. When ambition is announced too early, it triggers caution. The strategic move is controlled revelation. Let people see progress instead of hearing promises. Let curiosity build naturally. If you're studying these dynamics and building a disciplined mind, subscribe to Ilu Codex. This channel exists for those who prefer strategy over noise. Law 5. Master strategic absence. Most people believe influence requires constant presence, constant messages, constant interaction, but psychology works the opposite way. Familiarity without scarcity breeds invisibility. Imagine someone who messages a powerful contact every week, sending updates, articles, ideas. Eventually, the brain stops registering the interaction as meaningful. This is called scarcity perception. Humans value what appears rare. When something is constantly available, it loses psychological weight. That's the trap. Fear of losing opportunity creates overexposure. The consequence is subtle but brutal. You become predictable. Predictable people are easy to ignore. Strategic connectors understand the power of absence. They interact briefly, provide value, then disappear. This creates cognitive space. The brain begins associating your presence with meaningful moments rather than constant noise. When you return later, curiosity replaces indifference. Your presence becomes noticeable. Your words carry weight. Influence grows quietly through controlled scarcity. Law 6. Protect your reputation before your network. Many people focus on collecting connections. More contacts, more numbers, more introductions, but networks collapse instantly if reputation is weak. Powerful individuals operate using mental shortcuts called trust heuristics. They don't have time to investigate every person deeply. Instead, they rely on signals, reliability, discretion, consistency. One rumor of gossip, one careless comment, one broken commitment. That becomes the shortcut your name carries. And powerful environments are small ecosystems. Information travels faster than effort. The trap is thinking relationships alone create influence. In reality, reputation creates access long before relationships form. Guard your name carefully. Avoid unnecessary conflict. Deliver on promises. Move with discipline, because when your reputation is strong, something interesting happens. Opportunities begin appearing without introduction. Your name arrives in rooms before you do. And when that happens, networking becomes unnecessary. Respect already exists. Law 7. Make powerful people feel intelligent. The final law is subtle but extremely powerful. Many ambitious people unknowingly compete with powerful individuals during conversation. They interrupt, correct, challenge constantly. They want recognition for their intelligence. But high-status individuals guard one psychological asset above all else: their perception of competence. This is called ego preservation. When someone publicly challenges that perception, the brain instinctively creates distance from that person. Not because disagreement is wrong, because social authority must remain intact. Strategic operators understand this dynamic. They don't compete for intellectual dominance. They amplify insight. They ask thoughtful questions that allow the other person to expand their thinking. This creates a powerful psychological effect. The conversation becomes rewarding. The powerful individual feels respected, understood, and intellectually engaged. That emotional experience becomes associated with you. Suddenly the interaction feels valuable, and value is what creates lasting connection. Comment: I build strategic connections. Most people approach power hoping to be accepted. That's the mistake. Powerful people don't connect with those who try to impress them. They connect with those who understand the psychology of influence. The person who controls their words, controls their presence, controls their ambition, controls their reactions. That person becomes different. They stop chasing access. They start attracting it, because power recognizes discipline faster than enthusiasm. So remember the truth behind the opening. You were never ignored because you lacked talent. You were ignored because your behavior signaled the wrong identity. The admirer, the talker, the approval seeker. That identity ends here. Replace it with something stronger. The observer, the strategist, the controlled mind. Subscribe to ILLU Codex because powerful people don't connect with everyone. They connect with the few who understand power.